Welcome to My Lines, brought to you by Colin Boynton. Welcome to the latest episode of my poetry podcasts, the place where I share my world of words. My first piece this week is called Lost Among the Tears. I wrote this piece in 2001 after watching the news broadcasts of the Twin Towers disaster in New York. I take a look around me at a world of green and blue, a world so full of colour that's home for me and you. A world that has destruction, violence and pain. Through time we keep on wondering, will peace come back again? And though the years may come and go, there never seems to be a time that's truly peaceful and free of cruelty. Infliction caused by mankind, on mankind out of hate, we should just stop and take a look before it is too late. Tomorrow is too precious, for some it will not come, and those of us now left behind, there's nowhere left to run. Face up to reality and truth that's hard to bear. See the hatred in a face, does anybody care? The world is always crying, crying out in pain, hurting from the lack of care, there's only greed and gain. When will mankind ever learn the error of their ways, or will this be the way they choose to end their living days? It only takes a little love and isn't hard to do. Show it for your fellow man, it isn't something new. It's love that's been forgotten, neglected through the years, hidden by the hating, lost among the tears. We seem to go through a period of turmoil and disaster with many terrorist attacks, and my next poem this week, called The Shadow of Evil, was written after more such happenings around the world. For all those souls who die in fear, may you find peace at last. No more to run, no more to hide, your hurting now be past. And as the terror spreads its wings and flies across the land, those of you who wait with tears can only watch and stand, not knowing where the shadow is or where it next may call, together standing side by side, together standing tall. All as one in grief and pain, yet feeling all alone, the whole world watches on in shock for those not going home. Tomorrow is another day, one we all must face, not knowing what the future brings for the human race. Together we must stand up, strong and proud and tall, fighting back together until the shadows fall. And when at last the day is here, when the world is free, no more souls need die in fear, perhaps we all will see that all it really takes is love and just a little care, to live our lives in harmony, the world is ours to share. The next is called Before It Is Too Late, and after all the disasters we have seen and gone through, perhaps this is something we should all take heed of. We may not have tomorrow, we only have today, and yesterday is a memory now drifting far away. Say the things you want to say to those who mean so much. You may not get the chance again, too soon you may lose touch. And then the time will come along when it is far too late to say the things you should have said. So say it now, don't wait. The next piece I have chosen is called Restoration. Who can restore the faith of man while all around it fails? We read about and listen to the world and what it ails. We believe in what we read, in what we also see. It does not matter what is truth, we still just let it be. Who can mend the broken mind, damaged through the years, by false words that are ever spoke, bombarding all our ears? Who will restore the faith of man and once more bring back peace, destroy the demons that we hear that never seem to cease? It tells us tales of stress and strife, make everything sound bad, telling us that things have changed, things that we once had. Who will clear the clouded mind, broken down by fear, by the written words we read and everything we hear? Who can restore the faith of man, or is it now too late? Should we just keep going on and leave our lives to fate? Have we minds to choose ourselves, ignore the lies we're told? Perhaps it's time to break those chains before we grow too old. My final piece this week is simply called Until. Until the tears all run dry, until we have no need to cry, until the hate stops going round, until the guns make no more sound, until the bombs and bullets cease. Until then, there'll be no peace. I hope you've enjoyed my choice for this week's episode. This week's poems were written in honour of anybody who lost their life to an act of terrorism or disaster, and some of the terrible things that seem to keep happening around us today. The books I've written are available either from myself or direct from my publishers. For more details, see my website www.collinscorner.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you will join me once again next week for another episode of My Lines.